Yeah, what's up, man? Hope y'all blessed one back with another one right here. We got the evil daughter who hired 16-year-old boyfriend to kill mom after an argument. Dang. Let's get into this one right here, man. Jesus, dog.
Lost right now. I'm not hating my granddaughter, but at this time I don't want to see her right now.
Developing tonight, a 16-year-old girl is in the EBR Juvenile Detention Center accused of orchestrating a plot to kill her own mother. That new information coming in around 8 o'clock tonight. Deputies say the girl admitted to convincing a boy to kill her mother, 33-year-old Markeisha Stone. Deputies arrested the male suspect right near the scene early this morning at the Highland Apartments on Jefferson Highway. He has also admitted to the killing and told them the girl asked him for help.
It's really hard to imagine that a 16-year-old girl would have the mind to pay another 16-year-old a couple $100 to have her mother killed. But that was the reality of this woman, 33-year-old Markeisha Stone. In October 2022, her teenage daughter hired another teenager on social media to help her get rid of her mom. Her reason was that Markeisha was too strict and didn't let her do whatever she wanted. So she paid $200 to a 16-year-old hitman to have her own mother eliminated.
Friends and family of 33-year-old Markeisha Stone say they still can't believe the mother of four was shot to death in her apartment this week while all four children were home.
Yeah, I got a call at night from my grandson because some kind of way somebody got up in the apartment.
That somebody, deputies say, is a 16-year-old, identified in court as Dwayne Barfield. Stone's daughter, 16-year-old Jermaine Lewis, accused of paying Barfield to shoot her, something she planned for a while.
33-year-old Markeisha Stone wasn't just any kind of mom. She was the mom. You know the type. Strong, hardworking, and fiercely protective of her kids. People closest to her say she loved her children more than life itself, and she worked day and night to give them a shot at a better future. Here's what her father has to say about her.
She kept the family in line, but the number one thing, she was a mom, was a good friend, and she loved her daughter. And I hate to go out to lose her.
Markeisha was working and at the same time studying nursing and juggling motherhood. Balancing all these three wasn't easy, but Markeisha was determined to make it work. She wanted her kids to see that no matter how tough life got, hard work could pave the way for a better future. Now, like many single mothers, Markeisha ran a tight household. She set rules to keep her children safe and focused, which included things like no staying out late, no visitors without her permission, and definitely no skipping chores or homework. Honestly, these weren't unusual rules in most households with teenagers, but to her 16-year-old daughter, Jermaine Lewis, they felt suffocating. She didn't exactly love being told what to do. You know how it is. At that age, everything feels like a personal attack. The rules, the curfews, the constant no to her requests. It all built up into this storm of frustration.
She went out here and did some stuff. You over there fighting at school, getting the police mace in their face, and she disciplined, and you ain't like that. So you come up with some stuff to bake a cake on your mama, and that ain't had to be. And it wasn't that, they get along.
Jermaine wanted freedom. She wanted control over her life. But Markeisha, being the mom she was, wasn't about to let her oldest daughter throw it all away. So her rules constantly clashed with Jermaine's desires. They started arguing a lot. Like, a lot. The love was there though, but the tension overshadowed it, and every little disagreement seemed to push them further apart. With the growing tension in the family, Jermaine started spending a lot of time online browsing social media, and that was when she met a boy named Dwayne Barfield. He was 16 too, and at first, they bonded over typical teenage stuff, but their conversations didn't stay innocent for long. Jermaine started venting to Dwayne about her mom, complaining about the rules, the arguments, how controlling she thought Markeisha was, and slowly but surely, the two started cooking up a plan to make all her problems go away by getting rid of her mom. Meanwhile, Markeisha was still being a good mom without knowing that her daughter harbored such a deep resentment. Markeisha Stone had no idea that a heavy storm was brewing right under her roof. While she went about her life, working, caring for her kids, and trying to keep her family on track, her own 16-year-old daughter was plotting her murder with another 16-year-old whom she had met online. Now, we've all heard stories about teenagers or even adults meeting strangers online and getting caught up in things they shouldn't. But this was on a completely different level. After venting to Dwayne about all her frustrations, Jermaine was somehow able to convince him to help her end her mother's life and make all her problems go away once and for all. I know, it sounds unreal. A 16-year-old girl plotting to end the life of the very woman who gave her life and had taken care of her right from when she was a toddler. But it gets worse. Jermaine didn't just come up with the plan, she also put money on the table. She offered Dwayne $200 to carry out the murder. Now Dwayne, for reasons we may never fully understand, agreed. Maybe he thought it was a way to impress the girl, or maybe he was just as lost and evil as she was. Whatever the case, the two teenagers set their plan into motion, but as rookies, they didn't really have a grand strategy to carry out the crime or some alibi to cover up their tracks. Their plan was very simple. Dwayne would come to the house, and when the moment was right, he would strike. On the night of October 12, 2022, Dwayne showed up at the Highland Club Apartments, where Markesia lived with her kids. Before his arrival, Jermaine made sure her younger siblings were out of the way. She gathered them into another room and kept them distracted, as if she was trying to protect them from the horror she had planned against their mother. Then, once everything was set, Dwayne came out from his hiding and ambushed Markesia. Before the mother realized what was going on, Dwayne had fired at her multiple times. Unfortunately, by the time help arrived, it was already too late for her. Nonetheless, she was rushed to the hospital but died from her injuries a few hours later.
A family is trying to understand what happened after deputies say a 16-year-old boy shot and killed Markesia Stone. According to the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, when paramedics found the 33-year-old, she was badly hurt from the gunshots and was taken to the hospital where she passed away.
Meanwhile, back at the crime scene, Dwayne didn't get very far because he was captured, and it didn't take long for the truth to come out. During questioning, he confessed to everything, including the fact that Jermaine had paid him to kill her mom. When investigators confronted Jermaine, she too admitted to her role in the murder. Both teens were then arrested and charged with second-degree murder, and because of the premeditated nature of the crime, prosecutors pushed to try them as adults, especially Jermaine.
The male suspect charged with second-degree murder and possessing a weapon as a juvenile. That girl was booked as a principal to second-degree murder.
The idea that a 16-year-old girl could plan to end her mother's life in such a horrific way for merely being strict is something hard to wrap your head around. But for Jermaine, it's either she gets what she wants or her mother dies.
It's really sad to think that there are some young people out there that have such a low value for life, their own life as well as other people's lives. So I definitely think that that's something that we need to look at as a community in terms of our outreach and our education.
Markesia Stone's murder left her family and the entire community in mourning. Her 3 surviving children, who were in the apartment the night she was murdered, were now left without a mother.
I never missed no game, no practice, come from way.
Stone's 3 sons will be without their biggest cheerleader during their next football game.
He said, Papa, I'm going now. He said for his mama, he's going to go to the league.
Frances Barton was Markesia's friend. She says the story of her death is indescribable, many still shedding tears.
Those kids didn't just lose their mother, they lost their sister too. And you can't begin to imagine how confusing and heartbreaking it must be for them to know that their own sibling was involved in their mother's death. It's the kind of trauma that stays with you forever.
Wednesday night, her 13-year-old son decided to play in honor of his mom despite the recent tragedy. His coach, Walker, says the decision to play was his own, and it came as no shock that he suited up.
This tragedy is equally hard for Markesia's father, Marvin, who became the voice of the family in the weeks after the murder. While he grieved his daughter, he also spoke out about the importance of forgiveness.
For this to happen, no, I don't have no remorse right now. I'm not hating my granddaughter, but at this time I don't want to see her right now. The only thing, if I do get a chance to talk to her, I want to ask why.
To lose your child in such a brutal way and still want to find a way to forgive the person responsible is something most of us cannot do, especially when that person is your granddaughter. Marvin had even thought that someone Markesia had dated in the past was responsible for this, only for him to find out that it was his own blood that did this to their family.
That broke me all the way down. You know, I laid around here and, thinking it was other people or other people she could have dated in the past. And then for to hear that, that just took everything out of me.
Stone's father, Marvin Palmer, says he was close to his granddaughter. Now he doesn't want to see her, but wants to understand why.
But forgiveness doesn't mean there wouldn't be consequences. Marvin believed that Jermaine needed to face the full consequences of her actions, and she will.
It seems she plotted a sick crime, making sure the accused shooter could get in the apartment and even hiding her siblings while her mom was shot.
She have to pay for what she done. You know, like I told her little brothers, don't be mad at their sister.
If tried and convicted as an adult, Jermaine could face life in prison. Dwayne, too, would likely spend decades behind bars for his role in the crime. To date, the debate as to what really caused this tragedy is still ongoing. While some people think that Jermaine was just a troubled teen who made some terrible choices, others believe that stricter parenting might have pushed her over the edge.
It isn't yet clear what exactly led the teenager to plot her mother's death, but Palmer believes it's because she ran a tight house and told her daughter no.
Whatever the case is, the truth is that it didn't have to end this way. Markeisha was doing everything she could to be a good mom, to raise her kids right, to give them a better future. Sadly, her good intentions were misinterpreted by the same person she had lived all her life for. It's been almost 3 years since this happened, but a GoFundMe page that was set up by a family friend to help with her funeral expenses and support her children is still live. Here's what the page says. Hi, my name is Marcia, and I am the friend of the family of Markeisha Stone. Keshia, as she was affectionately called, was tragically murdered on Wednesday night in her home. Unfortunately, her murder was orchestrated by her daughter. As a result, her 3 remaining sons are left without their mother. As you can imagine, this has been a difficult tragedy to process, and her children are struggling to navigate life without their mom. I am humbly asking for anyone who can to please consider donating to this family. All monies collected will be used to assist in burying Keshia, and any leftover funds will be allocated to the care of her young children. Thank you for all you do. We know Markeisha has been buried, but if you're moved to support her family, then it's never too late to do that.
Man, RIP to Markeisha, man. But we're gonna go ahead and end this one right here, man. Markeisha. But we're gonna go ahead and end this one right here, man. Y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hope we have a blessed one. See y'all on the next video.